Espinoza is confident that this fight can still happen. Let's talk.
Push the weight enough flex. Alive is 1 in the 6. With the runner boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, trains out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. All right, man. Let's talk about it. Boxing scene link will be in the description for you to read for yourself. Showtime head is optimistic about Spence Crawford. I don't think anyone is ready to throw in the towel yet. All right, let's get through this. Steven Espinoza remains confident that one of the most anticipated fights in boxing can materialize before the end of the year. All right, we're almost in August, ladies and gentlemen. All right, the head of Showtime Boxing offered a brief update on negotiations for an undisputed welterweight fight between Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Responding to suggestions that the fight might be on the brink of collapse, Espinoza rejected that notion outright, while admitting that there were certain aspects in the talks that have reached a standstill. Overall, Espinoza is optimistic that the fight will get made. I'm glad he's optimistic. He says, I think in most negotiations that go for a while, they have a lifespan of ups and downs. Espinoza told FightHype.com, I don't think it's dead or close to dead. I think there are points where they're moving more quickly, points where they are sort of stuck at an impasse, okay? And we're a little bit stuck, but I don't think anyone is ready to throw in the towel. Least of all the two fighters, both Spence of Desto, Texas, and Crawford of Omaha, Nebraska, have publicly made it clear that they want to face each other next. A sentiment that was absent in the previous years, in which Espinoza says is the prime reason for his optimism. Traction for the fight gained momentum after Spence stopped Yordenis Ugas in April to unify 3 of the 4 welterweight belts. Spence is backed by Al Heyman of the PBC, while Crawford is presumably promotional. He's a promotional free agent. This would, sidebar, you would think it would be easy at this point, right? Because Bob Arum not involved. Okay, but let me read on. The Nebraskan was previously linked with Top Rank, but has parted ways. See, I just said that. With the company last year. PBC has content deals, but not only with Showtime, but also with Fox. He goes on to say, yes, there's some slow going, but the discussion is still ongoing. Espinoza continued. The people are still trying to make this work. I think one of the most positive things is that nobody is talking about it publicly. Now listen to this, y'all. Nobody's talking about this publicly. That's bad news for the media, and I wish I could share more, but hear what he just said? I wish I could share more, because I know there is a lot of interest, but at the same time, I don't want to be the guy who blows it up because I say something that irritates one side or the other, and they walk away. Now, who do you think he's talking about? Which side would get irritated? Spence got all the belts. He got a majority of the belts, not all of them. So who would get irritated? Who gets irritated when something is said more? Bud or Spence? But let me read on. I am still optimistic that it gets done. There are still a variety of conversations going on. I still think it is very, very possible it gets done this year. Possible, not definite, possible. Espinoza noted that he has not had direct conversations with Crawford and his team about fighting on his network. Wow. Wow. To be completely honest, he says, we haven't had discussions with him and his team on that. Everything has been focused on Spence Crawford. That's the focus. We're going to continue to try and make that. Even if negotiation dies, we're going to try to revive it. See, I don't like that. I don't like what they, my God. All right, let me read it. He said, even if the negotiation dies, we're going to try and revive it because it's an important fight. and it's a fight that both fighters want very badly. I think that's where my optimism comes from, to the fact that both fighters are 100% convinced that this is the fight that makes sense. That is the article. Link will be in the description. I want y'all to understand that that was what we call a nothing bomb. But the thing I want y'all to like zoom in on is when he says, okay, we're a little bit stuck. All right? When he says he doesn't want to be the one, basically to piss anybody off. He also says, where is it? He says, I don't think it's dead or close to dead. Right? What does it say? He says, both Spence, okay, traction deal, gain momentum, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I think one of the most positive things is that nobody is talking about it publicly, and that's bad news for the media. Let me stop right there. They're not discussing anything publicly. I want you guys to understand something. When money was the issue, Bud was singing it. 50-50. 60-40 my way. You remember that?
60-40. And I'ma kick your ass. 60-40. I'ma whip your ass so swift, so fast. How I hit your ass. We get about 12 rounds, cause the shit won't last.
Remember that? Remember all of that? 50-50. No. 60-40 my way. Okay, no fight. I don't need Errol. I'm going to the Hall of Fame. Remember he walked away? Remember when the money was the issue? The split was the issue? Now everyone's quiet. Errol hasn't said a word. Bud hasn't said a word. So what I'm saying is, in my opinion, if it was about money, we'd have heard it was about money now. But now Errol's not saying anything. Bud isn't even saying anything. He's not saying anything. Bob Arum's not involved. So what is the problem? What is the problem? Now I heard some things. I heard something about a 55-45. I heard something. But I heard we're close. And I hope we're close. I hope I'm wrong. But if y'all watch me, y'all know where I'm going with this. And I hope it's not that. I hope this gets announced. And I hope this is done by November, the latest. But everyone's asking, what the hell is the holdup? And Steve Espinoza basically, look, man, I think he knows. But again, he doesn't want to blow it up because he doesn't want to piss off any of the parties. Who gets more pissed off at anything? You're not going to piss off Errol. Errol got all the gold. Errol got all the options. If this fight don't happen, Errol could go to 154 and do whatever he wants. Because why? He's the money man. And you see, this is the part that the Bud fans don't want to talk about. Errol walks away from this fight, or Bud. If Errol walks away or Bud walks away, whoever walks away, if the fight doesn't happen, who has better options? And let me be clear when I say better. Who has more lucrative options? Since everyone likes to talk about money, Errol has more lucrative options. What's Bud gonna do? Stick around at 147 and do what? Errol goes to 154. Bud got to go to 154. It's dangerous up there too. Both men are undefeated. Both men will be going up to 154 respectfully. But Errol will be more decorated because he had more belts with a better resume. I don't care what y'all say. And the only reason why he wasn't undisputed or had a shot of being undisputed is because the fight didn't materialize. I think it's safe to say, in my opinion, it's not Errol's fault. Now, Steve Espinoza just gave this interview, and he was very it was a political interview because he wasn't giving you anything. Now, again, y'all watch me. Y'all know what I'm thinking. Y'all know what I'm thinking about this. There's a reason why this fight's not happening, in my opinion. And I don't think Steve wants to say it out loud. And again, I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that any day, tomorrow, next week, within the next hour, boom, we got a fight, we got a date, we got a venue. And I'll say, okay, great. Disregard. Now let's talk about who wins. But the fact that this hasn't been signed yet is alarming. It is scary, and I don't like it. And I hope everything that has fallen into my lap and everything that I've spoken about that people don't like to listen to. How I didn't like the fact that this guy went over to Dubai and rubbed elbows with Daniel Kinahan and MTK Global, got in the ocean over there and told me, we're looking for big fish. Where you at? Yeah, well, guess what? That might be the holdup. Because until you make another dime, we want to know where you got that $20 million from, dude. And I hope I'm dead wrong about that. Because I don't want Bud caught up in that nonsense. Oh, it's not MTK? Yeah, where's MTK right now? Oh, Daniel Kinahan, he's good for boxing. Yeah, $5 million bounty on his head. And he's still at large. Nothing's making sense, man. But I hope I'm wrong. So y'all read that article and tell me if you got anything from it. It's like there's no point. He just told you that they're in negotiations and he's optimistic about it being happening. He didn't say he was confident that it was going to happen. He says he's remaining optimistic. I don't like those odds. I don't. Well, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Bronx on deck. Move!